Hi there. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Say Wong. He said greetings from SAC Anime. Well, greetings to you, sir, and thank you for coming by to say hello from SAC Anime. I imagine it must be very busy there. Again, you must realize I am alone. Van forgot his power cord for his laptop that he streams from, so he is actually rushing home right now so he can join us on the show. How are you guys this evening? I've had a busy but good week. Got a good amount of work done. Just been busy being productive. But yeah, I enjoyed my week. How about you guys? I know we have a few people sitting here in the chat. You guys let me know something you good. Hi, Duran. How are you? I hope you are well. He said, hello, Kyber family. I am happy to see you. There's Say Wong there in the comments saying greetings from SAC Anime, and Duran saying hello, Kyber family. I've had what did I do? It's one of those weeks where you felt like you had a good week, but you can't remember anything specific. I am looking forward to turning off my alarm. I'm going to do that right now as we're talking. Where did my phone go? Turn off my alarm for tomorrow morning because there's no school tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I will enjoy sleeping in. For those of you who do have to work tomorrow, I hope it goes smoothly and well for you and that you get to have good time when you're not working. All right, guys. Well, for this first thing that we do, what's that first thing do you guys do? Do you remember what we do? First thing we do, that nerdy news, my friends. So the first thing, oh wow, that looks ridiculous. Okay, that's what I wanted. First thing for the nerdy news, an Ahsoka gift guide. If you want to get someone in your life special, something from Ahsoka and want to nail it, you check out the link in the description below to the Ultimate Ahsoka gift guide, and you will find anything you need for a gift for Ahsoka, even a gaming chair there that has something. You got the jacket, you've got a necklace that has Huyang on it. And yes, for those who didn't know, I did not watch any Ahsoka until yesterday. I finally got to watch the first 3 episodes. It took way too long, and I do apologize for that. And it's really funny because our Saturday morning show, where we make theories, I'm currently in the running for the game for all my theories about what was going to happen in the show, which I find that hilarious. So anyway, check the link in the description below for your Ultimate Ahsoka gift guide. Next, Ghost from Ahsoka is coming to life. They have Hasbro has created Ghost for you to be able to play with and put together. Hera is the one in it, so you'll be able to, I think you get a piece of her with it. There are a ton of pictures. So if you check out the link in the description below to the article, you'll see way more pictures than just this that you're currently seeing. And you'll just see where you'll be able to get it when it's released. If it isn't yet, I looked for a date on the article and I couldn't see it, but maybe I just missed it. I'm not perfect, if you didn't know. So go ahead and check out the link in the description below for that. And that is your nerdy news for today. It's really funny because when the nerdy news happens without Van, it goes by fairly quick. Because I don't have him to bounce it off of. Oh my goodness. Guys, I appreciate every one of you. I want to make sure that I let you guys know that I don't show that appreciation enough. Anyone who comes in and takes time out of their day to chill with us, nerd out, talk about sabers and anything Star Wars related, I just putting your time aside means a lot to me. So thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. Say Wong, I was 1 minute late. He did not forget. He left his power cord at home, and so he's rushing with his laptop home to get it. So he will be here shortly, hopefully quite soon. So we shall see him hopefully in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Any hoozle. I get to the cave so I can harass Van. He's not here. Steven, he left because he forgot his power cord at home. So yeah, he's not there for you to harass. Steven there is the store manager at Kyber Cave, and he's a good friend of mine. All right, so guys, we have James Kaiser is a producer here on this show, also known as Darth Cephalus. He brings us the flow of the show every week. And this week's flow is actually our guest from last week, Christian Castro of the Saberflex Workshop. What'd you say, Stephen? Oh, it's so long. Sure. Yeah. Get to know, get the show going on the TVs and hear Metza talk about his court. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, please enjoy this flow of Christian Castro, brought to us by James Kaiser. Thank you, James Kaiser, for bringing us that flow of the show for the week, Christian Castro. If you guys want to find out more information about Christian Castro, if you check out last week's show in the description, you can find several websites there to him, and you can see all of his other videos. He's also got a TikTok, and it's the Saber Workshop. I actually give it a follow. That's how I know about it. If you'd like to give it a follow, you could just check out the links in the description from last week's show, and you will see that information there. So next, guys, we have our interview coming up with Rob Chan. He is actually a Saber competitor champion. I was really impressed by some of the videos that he sent to us. I'm very excited for Van to be talking to him. Van is not here just yet, but we're going to go ahead and get this interview started. So here is Rob Chan. Hi there, Rob. How are you this evening?
Doing great. How are you?
I am well. I'm well. So one thing I want to first ask is when you first, do you remember picking up your first Saber?
Yeah, I would say it's been 5 years since I started doing like Lightspeed Saber League and
Hmm.
doing sparring, and then eventually starting to compete. And I picked up like an old rinky-dinky rental from Kank Snow, if anyone knows him. He
Yeah,
runs
he's been
Lightspeed
on our
Saber
show
League.
before, actually. And he's been on the
Okay,
show, so we
yeah,
all know who King Snow is. Yeah. Oh, that's
he
really
has
cool.
these loners.
Oh, that's
So
really cool.
yeah, and these loners are just, they are, I would say, the bottom of the barrel. Like they've been through hell, they've been rebuilt, and they're and I loved it picking it up, and it was great.
You feel like it's one of those things that when I pick one up, I was like, okay, I'm a Jedi right now. Last year, actually, Kyber Cave had a May 4th event, and I got a loaner from Kyber Cave, and I broke it.
Ooh.
I mistakened our vacuum plug for the charging plug because it fit, but the voltage was wrong and it fried the circuit board.
Mm.
So that was an oops. So what got you into starting in the lightsaber league?
So right off the bat, I have to give credit to my wife. Um, we were just she was looking online like 5 years ago of like things to do with your significant other, and she's the one that found Lightspeed Saber League. She's like, "Hey, do you want to take a lightsaber class?" And I was like, "Okay,
That
sure,
is the
sounds good."
coolest nerdy wife I've ever heard of.
You
That's
know,
really cool.
sometimes I'll say I think she regrets it because she didn't know that she was creating a monster at that time. And 3 months, yeah, 3 months after we started the classes, she got pregnant, and she had to stop because of that. So she
Oh
stopped,
man,
but I just
that's
kept going.
so Stephen Harris. Stephen Harris in our comments is correcting my grammar because I said mistaken instead of mistaken. So many apologies for my terrible grammar. So so when was your first competition?
I would say it was in 2019, I think.
Okay, so
2019.
not terribly long ago, but like you said, 5 years ago is
There,
when you started.
yeah, there were quite a few. There were more frequent competitions back then, and Stephen, when I say there, I mean I'll say it THEIR. There were
Yeah.
more, right? Uh, yeah. Anyways, we used to have like a couple competitions in the summertime, and but we didn't have like the big ones that we do now. Uh,
Yeah.
but it was fun,
You got to the cat. That's cool.
for
I'm glad.
for a long
Where was
time.
it?
Uh, in Buena Park. It was a
Okay.
series called Summer Slash. Um, and there was
That's
like
really
Summer
neat. And we
Slash
got
1, Summer Slash 2, and it was just like,
oh,
you
it's like
know,
all it sounds like
yeah,
a horror movie when you
it,
actually hear
it,
Summer
it
Slash,
it kind of was. But they were great. Lots of
All right, and
fun.
then
We had a lot of people come out.
Jedi Council of America, Mike, his their like leader Mike Berger is in our chat. He said normally I instigate ideas. Anyway, so what was probably has been your most difficult obstacle to get over or get past during your lightsaber competitive, career?
Um, Honestly, it would be nothing to do. It's actually more personal. It's just like
Oh,
having like
okay.
two small children and
Yeah.
trying to like train hard with that, and
Hmm.
it's tough. Um, but other than that, the competition has always been fierce. Some of the OG guys, they're really good, and when the more you fight with someone that's really skilled, it kind of brings
Hmm.
up your skill, because the bar is just keeps rising, and
Yeah, you learn a lot from them.
you learn.
Uh,
Yeah.
Fighting against them. Rob and I had a short conversation before the show that I used to do martial arts. And when I fought with people that were higher skill level, I felt like I learned. And when my most recent time I did martial arts, my oldest was only a year old at the time. So I can relate to trying to do something where you're trying to train and you've got young children around. And it's hard because, they see you working out and training and they think it's just a game. So
Yeah.
then they want to come and play, but it's like, oh no, but I'm trying to get this stuff
Yeah.
done. So yeah, I can definitely understand how that could be difficult. And then guys, don't forget, all of you in our comments, you can ask questions by just posting a comment, and I will make sure that Rob gets to address it. Yeah, just post it in the comments there. So what is oh, Van just popped in. So let me right then I heard him pop into my ear. Let me add him to the stream and he can take over. Hello, Van. We were just talking about a few the questions I've asked. I can't remember every single one of them, so you're just gonna have to get by yourself. But I asked, like when he started, if you remember picking up his first saber, what his most difficult obstacle was, and when his first competition was. That was the questions I had asked.
Woo-hoo. The origins.
And I will let you take over. Yeah, his origin story is that what I was working on. But I will let you take over, guys. Say hi to Ark up there above us, Arctic Scala, and I will disappear.
Woo! Thank you, Metro. What is up? How are you doing tonight, Mr. Rob?
Doing fantastic.
I'm digging the background. I feel like you're being like watched over. Like if you don't answer the right questions, you're gonna get electrocuted or something.
Oh yeah, clearly. I love it. Just like I'm a battery. Just let me soak it up.
Yeah. Well, soak it up. I heard you guys are talking about some of the origins. We'll go back to some of that in a second. But I always like to start my movies with the big action scene first. The big collider, the big stunt scene that gets everybody interested in the story. I want to know how was your competition this last, what was it, month and a half ago?
It was back in June, mid-June.
I have no concept of time, as you might be able to tell.
It's all right, me too. Once you pass like 20, you have no time. But
right. It just all kind of blurs together.
Yeah.
You were the winner in 3 separate competitions. And I know one of them, one of your teammates was someone we had a chance to interview on this channel about the week before competition, Miss Joanna. Is that correct? Joanna?
Yes, Joanna Lewis.
Joanna Lewis,
yep.
That's correct. Yeah. She was one of your teammates, was she not?
She was in my threes team along. Yeah.
Right.
She was in my threes, and we would, if you asked Josh and I in our threes, we would say Joanna was clutch. She was Kobe and we were the Lakers.
Nice.
Very,
I think
very
she
clutch.
also won for the women's division on her own, didn't she?
This year we had a different women's champ.
Okay.
Shar Carter is the one that won this year.
Okay.
And I think Joe made it to the semis.
Woohoo! Yeah, I know it was an exciting time. So tell us about your competitions. A little bit about yourself as a fighter. I know you guys were going over your origins and all that, but tell us, what different, first off, is it just Lightspeed that you do? Or do you do different Saber groups?
It's just Lightspeed that I do. Okay. It's hard to find time to run out to different competitions and, stay married at, after trying to run out every weekend to go fight in the Saber tournament.
Right.
But yeah, so I pretty much just had a very lucky, or I would say it was lucky tournament. My teammates were great. Josh was my 2s and my 3s teammate. So the way that we kind of brought it out, like our strategy was like, we had like life points. And so everyone has the life points. And, when you get hit, you lose life points.
Right. It's like a video game.
The strategy for at least for 3s was we basically just went out and Josh and I did as much DPS as possible. And we just stayed until we died. And then Joanna came over and cleaned house.
What is DPS for?
Oh, like we did as much damage, like damage per second. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we were just like trying to get as many hit points off of the other team as possible.
Right.
And keep Joe is like very good at defending.
Right.
So we kind of kept her in the back. And there was a couple clutch moments where there's like a special rule if Josh and I were dead.
Mm.
If you get a clean defense, like a counter, like a parry riposte, you can revive your teammates back to 1 health point. And
So
so
were
there
all
was
three
this
of you on
moment.
the floor at the same time?
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting. It's essentially a one-on-one competition, and
Okay.
it's like a WWE like tag team, right?
Okay,
So
so you tag the
one
next person
fighter,
in.
yeah, you tag in.
Okay.
You tag in. Otherwise, that would just be that would be amazing to watch, but it would be a melee, you know. 'Cause,
Right. I can't imagine trying to judge something like that.
yeah, the flow video that was shown earlier,
Right.
absolutely beautiful. Definitely not what real combat would look like. You know, I'm trying to swing the saber as short as possible. Like, you know, I don't want to wind up.
Right.
You know, I don't want to hurt. I don't want to like swing like baseball swinging anyone, even with
Right.
armor. But I want to get there as quickly as possible. So it definitely looks very different than flow.
Right. Now let me ask you, because I know and in fact we have an excellent show I'm really excited about coming up, I believe on the 17th of this month, where we're going to have the head of each of the lightsaber groups. So Saber Legion, Kang will be there, Ludo Sport. We're going to have the heads from several different groups talk about the future of sabering and as a sport together, from so many groups that are fundamentally different. I mean, if you were to look at the Saber Legion versus how you fight in Lightspeed, it's
right?
a very different style of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of the benefits to Lightspeed, I think, is also what allows you to wear like a ton less armor. You don't have to be armored up from head to toe.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. But
So
Lightspeed is very different than, say, Ludo Sport, who does more of the, like the fancy kind of flow art kind of thing. But somehow their points allow for them to, like, it's your turn to go versus my turn to go. Would you be able to adapt, like, if let's say lightsaber became an Olympic event, but the rule sets were different from what you were used to at Lightspeed, would you be able to adapt to that?
definitely. I'm pretty confident in that. So my background is not in martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
My background is in b-boying or breakdancing.
Nice.
So I'm very aware of like my body movements.
Right.
You know, like in like, whoops, maybe you can't see it in the stream, but boom.
Right.
So, anyways, I'm very aware. Like, and I feel like I have solid control of what I want to do when I'm doing something. So my brain and my body do what they want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's an adjustment for like Ludo Sport or for Saber Legion, you know, I kind of already have that sparring background and the ability to like read someone when you're sparring with someone. The way that I analyze a competitor is I try to find their rhythm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so their rhythm, like they're okay. Once I pick that up, I feel like, okay, they're gonna strike on 1, 2, 3, 4. Then if they're gonna strike on 4, I try to get them on 3. Or if they're moving
Right.
around and it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, I try to
Right.
get them in between 1 and 2. So my goal is to disrupt your rhythm.
Right.
And that's that leaves you thinking like, dang it, he was just like a fraction of a second faster than me, or oh, I wasn't ready.
Right. So
that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Are you doing that, like, okay, let's say you and I are going to come up to fight. Are you doing that as we get into the ring together and you are learning me as I'm going? Or do you watch, like, say, if I had fights with previous people, do you go and watch my bouts knowing that you're going to be fighting me and trying to pick up those techniques and such?
Definitely. I'm not gonna lie, I do scout out the competition.
I think
Usually
you have to.
When people watch a fight, they'll watch like the fighters like this, right? However, when I like to watch a fight, if I'm scouting you and this is you,
Right.
I'll walk like this so that I'm facing you. I'm
Right.
behind your competitor. And so
Ah.
I get the perspective of what it's like to be in the ring looking at you and trying to like, read your movements from that perspective. That's how I like to watch a match if I'm scouting someone.
Wow. Wow. And I mean, obviously when you're in a competition setting, that's kind of, you can maybe have a chance to watch them fight a round or two before. When
Yeah.
you're coming into a brand new arena, do you try to research stuff online? Do you do your homework ahead of time?
Sometimes, but I can't say I go that hard. Like I said, I'm pretty confident in my abilities and like to adapt. Like I always like to say the best style is no style. So
Right.
I try to, based off of what I think you're fighting like, I will create a style to
Right.
try to counter your style. And that's kind of done like on the fly, oh, this person likes to defend. Well, I'm going to be real tricky. Or, oh, this
Right.
person's really fast. Well, I'm just going to run away.
And you were saying there was 3 different competitions. It was a 3x3, 2x2, and then the singles that you won in, correct?
Yeah. So
Do
I
you
took
have to train? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was advanced singles, 2-on-2, and then the 3-on-3.
And do you have to train differently for those competitions, or is it pretty much? I mean, I know you said you like the best style is no style, so it seems like you're kind of there in the moment. But there's obviously got to be some training that goes in ahead of time.
Yeah, definitely. I find it the best to train your stamina, um, and try to spar against people that are better than you.
Right.
Like I like sparring against my partner Josh. He's when we fight seriously, it's like it's a toss, it's a dice toss. You know, so and he's the same way and very very analytical.
Right.
I also like fighting. I fought Tony. I don't know if you know who Tony
Tony
Zaldua is.
Zulata?
Zaldua, yeah.
Zaldua. Yeah. Okay.
He's also very analytical in how he fights. Um, so sorry, I kind of forgot where I was going with that.
We were
I
talking
lost.
about the difference between fighting as a single competitor
Oh yes,
versus
yeah,
having teammates.
yeah. It's honestly the same type of training because it is like WWE tag team.
Mm-hmm.
You're just the same movements, and it's the same fighting style. It's not like where I have to adjust to like watch your back,
Mm-hmm.
or there are a couple drills that we do that I like to do that involve like a I won't say it, but like a group fight where it's like 3-on-1.
Right.
But those are different. But in general, the competitions, your basic training will take you. You can enter into singles, doubles, or triples.
Right. Because it seems to me that even with the doubles and the triples, you're still essentially alone. It's just that you have the ability to tag out when you feel like you're getting cornered or something like that.
Correct.
So then with the singles and triples this year, do you before the competition, did you practice together with your teammates, or is it that you're trusting in the individual fighting styles of each person?
Josh and I practice. My teammate Josh and we practiced before. We known each other for a couple years. Joe, I used to train and fight with her, before she moved, but now she lives elsewhere. So I was like, you know what? I just trust her. I trust Joanna. She'll be fine,
Right.
And so that's kind of how it was. And some of the teams in 3-on-3 were made up of people from different light speed bases from all over the country.
Right.
So it wasn't like, I wouldn't call it each team a fine-tuned machine going into it, because a lot of people just decided to mix it up and were meeting some of their teammates for the first time and just trying to come up with strategy that would, during the tournament.
How did you like that? Because I mean, most of the time, I assume you're down there in the LA area, right?
Yeah,
You personally,
I'm in SoCal. Yeah.
right? And for those that may or may not know a lot about Lightspeed, Lightspeed got started with Kang Snow in Southern California, in LA, and so they have several bases there in that area, individual groups and clubs, but they also have groups and clubs that are outside. So they, all over the country. And are we getting worldwide yet? I can't remember. Or do you have a group in Canada, right?
The tournament was international because we had a group from Canada.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, so Lightspeed is really starting to spread out and catch the attention of a lot of people. What attracted you to Lightspeed? Was it just because that's what was there in your area? Were you introduced to it, or?
So I was talking to Mezzo, and how I got started was my wife.
Oh, okay.
She found it and signed us up for classes, and here I am 5 years later. 2023.
So they had like starter classes for Lightspeed, and your wife thought it would be a great date night.
Yep. And, yeah. Back when we had a studio, there was a lot of like students coming out, and there was like you could tell like we had just like date night, like literally date night. People come out and like give it a shot, and it was fun.
Right. Does your wife still fight?
No, she does not. She does not. Although sometimes at home I'll ask her to just like, hey, throw some swings at me just so I can dodge and duck and defend. And then sometimes she's like, hey, the dishes aren't washed, and then she throws a real one in there, and gotta duck, dodge, and dive, right?
When we're selling our sabers at conventions and stuff, one of my lines is they're perfect for couples therapy.
This is actually the one I won from threes, and it's from Kyber Cave.
Ooh.
Maybe I have to turn off my background, but anyways, I love it. Very, very well built.
Ooh, well, thank you. I'm happy you like your saber. So do you have first off, when you're fighting in all three of those competitions, was it traditional blade competitions, or was any of it like unique or variants or anything like cross guards or
yeah, some people so there's three categories that you can fight in. You can fight, which is your Ray category, which is essentially your traditional lightsaber.
Right.
There's a Ren category, which is with the cross guards.
Right.
And then we call it Tano, and that's with two.
Right.
So but with Tano,
did you fight any of those, or did you fight just Ray style?
I fought Ray.
Okay.
I only fight Ray for the moment. Can't give anything away.
Yeah.
Yeah, only Ray for the moment. It's like bread and butter, what I train with.
Right. And I would assume that most Lightspeed fighters, that's probably essentially where everybody starts. And, I would guess 75% of people fight that style. Like, I would imagine.
Yeah. Ray is your Toyota Camry. That's like what everyone starts. You learn to drive in that four-door family sedan. Like that's what it is.
Right. But the crossguard having that defensive feature, or Tano style, I guess, where being able to use your second saber as defense, that adds a whole new element to the game, doesn't it?
Definitely. It definitely changes it up. It makes it more difficult to ref. However, if you're coming from different walks of martial arts, some HEMA people, they really like the crossguard.
Right.
We have a lot of people that are coming from like Filipino martial arts, so they love the Tano style. Like
Eskrima uses the short sticks.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they love it, and they're naturals.
Right. I can't remember in Lightspeed, you're not allowed to combine it, right? It's like Ray fights with Ray, right? You can't do
No, you combine
Ray versus Tano.
No, it's like it's a crap.
So you don't know who you're going to go up against, or at least what they're going to use, right?
Yeah. If you and I were fighting, let's say we were fighting in the competition, and in the pools, we fought Ray versus Ray, and then and then we made it to the bracket, and now we're in the semifinals.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, I'm gonna switch it up on this fool. You know,
Right.
then you're like, oh, I'm like, oh, okay, Van's fighting like, oh, okay, he's fighting crossguard now, right? So now I kind of have to change.
Yeah, it seems like it gives you, especially if you're working on a team, but it gives you as a fighter more options at really strategy. Like you're not just doing the same thing every time and trying to throw them off. It's, you know, you really could come with something different. Like you were saying, come out with a cross guard in the last round or dual wielding in the last round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the only thing is you can't switch mid fight, but like you have to declare what you'll be using right before the round. So you can't switch mid fight, but up until then, like, hey, it's all, you know, surprise, mother, like, you know.
Right. I was just thinking that, well, I don't know. I don't know if you're the appropriate person to ask. Maybe I'll ask King, but I was just thinking, okay, so what if I'm fighting you and you go Ray style and I declare I'm going to do Tano style, but I lose a lightsaber. Does that mean that I can now switch to Ray style, or that I lost a point for losing the saber?
I don't think that situation has actually come up before. However, the closest thing I would say is right now, if you're disarmed during the fight, like let's say you disarm me and I have nothing, you should 100% attack me when I'm disarmed,
right,
and score that hit. So if you disarmed me, like you would get that point if you struck me, and you didn't give me a chance to go get it.
Right. But I'm wondering because now technically, if I disarm you with one hand, you still got another saber. So technically, would you be switching styles to Ray, or would you have to pick up that second saber to be able to fight again?
I think in that particular exchange, I would just be like, you know, I would just have one. Like, you know, it's like, oh, I messed so well. But then afterwards, you know, for the following exchanges after that, I'm actually not sure what would happen.
Right.
You know, they might have to just go back to your Toyota Camry Ray Saber if you lost one.
What's up, Aubrey? It is good to see everybody. Mark Morale is out in New Zealand. It is good to see everybody online tonight. Ability TV is out in Florida, and Graveyard is in Illinois. Woohoo! No, both of them are in Illinois. Sorry.
Yo.
We got them back. So we got people all over the place here to see this. How did it feel? Have you ever won a light speed competition before, or even going back, like when you were a little kid? Have you ever won a soccer team? How did it feel to be, you know, to win in all three categories, but also particularly the singles category, because that's like the grand championship right there.
Yeah, I've taken home gold before. You know, in the past when I was first starting, I called myself, like, you know, for the first few years I was stuck in silver. Right? Like I got a ton of silver medals. And then the last 2 years, you know, I had to step it up. And so it's been gold ever since.
Wow.
But you know, I have to give it to the competition that, you know, it was tough. There was like a ton of skilled fighters there. So everything was really hard earned. Like, you know, I didn't feel like anything was super easy, or, you know, you didn't need to take anyone seriously. You know, people are flying out to nationals in Vegas. And so when you have that type of dedication, you're going to get, you know, people with a great mindset, like a competitive mindset. Hey, I'm here to win. You know, this isn't just practice where I'm just messing around. Like, you know, I flew out here, I want to win. I'm thirsty for blood, son.
Right. For you, what was it that was the difference between being stuck in silver to getting gold? Was it just more time practicing? Was it a different mindset? Was it
different mindset? So I used to be really focused on what I'm trying to do. Like, you know, oh, hey, I'm going to do this fancy move, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. But instead, now I think of it as not only what do I want to do, I think about it, what do I want to do? When do I want to do it? And what are you doing? Like, I try to figure out, like I said, going back, I want to get you in your off step. So I started analyzing my opponents a lot more, and I found more success ever since I've started doing that.
Right. It really is. I tell people it's like a chess game, but it hurts.
Yeah.
You really do have to use strategy, and you do have to try to figure out what is my opponent going to be doing. But a lot of these decisions you're having to make it in literally split seconds, so you can get a second block in, or because a lot of times a lot of people are just blam blam and then attack and then pull off. So you got to block 2 and then attack.
Yeah. Also, while I remember, in that opening clip, like I'm wearing all neon. Like I'm wearing orange neon shirt with like green and pink neon pants. Like, just to say that is not normally how I dress. Okay. But in order, like all the OG members will know, it's very difficult to ref. So I wear really bright colors to make it easier for the refs to see what I'm doing. If I'm wearing all black, it's tough. It's a tough color to see. Like you would say, like, it's just hard to see, and like, hard to see my movement, hard to see my opponent. If they strike me, it's hard to see.
Right.
So that is
thought
why I
about
wore
that.
all neon. Yeah. And a lot of the OG competitors, if you go back and you watch the Lightspeed competition, they're wearing bright colors. Like Tony was wearing orange. He was wearing like an orange Jedi fighter pilot's jumpsuit. Jose was wearing like all white, like a chef's outfit.
Right.
So that's why you have like kind of an eclectic group of, or what appears to be a very eclectic group of people, swinging sabers at one another.
All right. I like the people that mix the cosplay with their armor.
Yeah.
Seen some very creative work out there.
Yeah, it's the only thing I say is if you do mix cosplay with it, if you get hit, like if you decide to wear bunny ears and if you get hit in the bunny ears, that counts.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
So any of your clothing, your accessories counts.
It becomes you, right? So that's why you don't see like the Jedi robes. Absolutely not really viable. Like I would never wear that. Too long, you get hit in the sleeves. Like it would definitely hold you up.
Right. Yeah, I totally want Balin armor too. Graveyard. Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen people use, I don't know, like Mortal Kombat characters and different, or Ninja Turtles or whatever, and they make their costume those colors, but there's still very, it's very important that it's safety before looks.
It's funny you say that. So in 2-on-2s, I'm not sure if I have a good picture, but my 2-on-2 with Josh, we were Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So our team name was no copyrights, but our team name was Icy Hot Pain Relieving.
It's probably more like Icy Hot Pain Inducing. Nice. So going forward, do you feel like you're kind of at the top of your game? Do you feel like there's more you need to learn or more you need to do in this sport, or where do you feel like you're at? Is there plateaus for you to go and to reach for?
Definitely. You can always get better, and there's always people that are going to be better than you. So that's the way I look at it. So I don't feel like I've plateaued. I just feel like I just got to keep climbing this mountain and learn more and more, so I can completely sponge up and be water, my friend, and change and adapt better to any opponent that I face.
Right. If sabering in the Olympics does become a reality, is that something you think you'd strive for?
Definitely. I definitely strive for that, but I'm not in my 20s anymore. I don't know what, I still get carded sometimes, but yeah, in my 30s, I feel like my biological athletic prime is behind me. But we get a lot of fighters now that are in their late teens and their 20s. They're very
Right.
fast, they're very agile, but their mindset is not there. They
Right.
have
Right.
mental flaws. Haven't been
Right.
carded since I was 17. Well, if you have facial hair, that helps a lot. But I got
I
carded.
never. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I got carded the other not that long ago to see a rated R movie in theaters. I was like,
Wow.
what is this? You're crazy. What kind of Karen asked
Right.
for geez.
It's kind of funny. I've never really thought about sabering in general, but it seems to me a lot of sports tend to come from like something you play as youth, right? Even
Mhm.
one of our newest sports, parkour or freestyling, is something that younger guys got together and they were just doing in the park because hey yo, what's up? Because they could and they didn't have a lot of money to do other things. Sabering is one of the few sports that I think started in the middle age category because we were the ones that grew up with, well, I'm older than that, but we grew up with the original Star Wars. A lot of those people grew up with the prequels as their, in their childhood. And we
Mhm.
were the ones that really wanted to see these iconic weapons come to life. So when a lot of the saber fighting and the saber group started up, it seemed to be middle age people in your early 30s, maybe people in your late 20s. And it's just now seemed to start to come down to the younger teenage areas. In fact, I remember when we started Kyber Cave 5.5 years ago, our store was right next to a local high school. And I remember a lot of the high school kids being into it, but they were like, they didn't want their high school friends to see that they were into Star Wars or into lightsabers. It wasn't cool yet. Lucas hadn't taken over yet. I mean, Disney hadn't taken over, so it didn't hit the
Yeah.
mainstream quite the same. But
Look at
it
us
really
now.
has, yeah, it really has kind of evolved down to. I also see it kind of like skateboarding. When skateboarding was big in the 80s, it was primarily a white male dominated thing, and now you see people of all different ethnic backgrounds, women, men, both, everybody into skateboarding. So I kind of see that happening with sabers as well.
Definitely. I couldn't agree with you more. When I started 5 years ago, it was a bunch of people in their 30s and 40s,
Right.
and now you still have those people, but now you get we used to have a cadet cadet category where they were I think it was 16 and under.
Right.
So now it's like, hey, look what I can do. Tell your friends, come out, and we get a lot of young kids now.
Right. Do you think that's have you seen the sport change then in the 5 years then going from something these middle aged guys were doing to something that is now cool with the teenagers? Has that changed the
Uh,
sport at all? Like
the
or
the rules have changed,
Mhm.
but overall you know the strategy hasn't changed that much. Um, what's up, Tony? Tony's an OG. He can
Tony?
attest. Uh,
Yes, we have
the
had
rules
Tony on.
change, but the strategy is the same.
Right. Right. Do you think as this becomes more and more mainstream and more public that it's going to evolve into something more and different, or do you think it's kind of the rules are pretty much set, this is what we're doing?
I think there's going to be a few changes, but we've been working on the rules, I know, for a very long time, and so I feel like they're in a good spot right now. So I don't really foresee a lot of major changes
Hmm.
coming up. I think
Hmm.
everything is pretty fair. The scoring system's fair. Um, you know, I think groin shots will always be illegal. So
Right, right. Nobody
those are
wants to get
always,
hit there.
yeah. But yeah, I think the
So
rules are pretty set.
right, right, okay. Rob, we're getting ready to close out. Is there anything you wanted to leave us with, or any thoughts or anything? I know we're gonna have your information down below where people can find you, or if they want to. I don't know if you have any videos or anything available, but typically our director Mezzo is excellent about putting our guest info in the description box.
Sure, yeah, I'll shoot it out there. I'm not on social media too much, but I'll definitely get it out there.
Too busy whooping butt.
You know how it is, man.
Go ahead.
But anyways, I do want to thank, like everyone at Lightspeed, like the OGs, for I do attribute success, like the success that I've had recently, to them. So thank you guys. Kang's always great. I spar with him on the regular at practice. Tony's here. Got to thank Tony. We've been rivals, but friendly rivals. Kind of like I would call it. Our relationship is like Goku and Vegeta.
Right.
Very friendly rivals for a very long time.
Wow,
Vic,
and you're getting to when you talked about sparring with people that are better than you, you're like, you really are kind of leveling it up. You're fighting with the best of the best.
Yeah. There's definitely like a group of OGs and people that still compete. Like I was gonna say, like Josh, my teammate, Joanna, Vic, David, Tom, Ryan. Those a lot of those OG guys are great to fight because they're very skilled, and they'd definitely help you level up.
Right. Yes, I've always said it's just kind of like this channel. I don't have to be smart. I just surround myself with smart people.
That's right.
Well, Rob, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. I want to say congratulations in all your victories. We look forward to many, many more from you, and watching your future as you grow. Thank you for spending time with us tonight.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. You have a beautiful evening. And like I said, remember to check out September 17th. Kang Snow will be here, the leader and creator of Lightspeed. He will be one of many creators of different Saber groups that will all be on a panel together. So if you want to find out more about Lightspeed, check out Lightspeed. I think it's Lightspeed International, isn't it? LightspeedInternational.com. Just Google Lightspeed. They will pop up. Lightspeed Saber Fencing. They have excellent. One of the really nice things about Lightspeed too is if you are out somewhere in the middle of nowhere, you want to start a Lightspeed club of your own, there's really good videos and tutorials that show you the different steps and the different processes. And Kang makes it really easy for you to start your own group to get out there and start having fun together. So make sure to check out Lightspeed and check out Rob's stuff. And Rob, you enjoy that TXQ Saber.
You too. Have a great night. I won't say "May the Force be with you" because that's too cliche. Instead, I'll say, feel your anger. It gives you focus. It makes you stronger.
Especially when the Emperor's sitting behind your shoulder. All right, my friend. Mezzo,
have a good night.
Roll those outros.
Good interview. That was very much fun.
Did you see all those neon outfits they were wearing in that shot when they were fighting?
I kind of edited it, so yes.
I guess you did. I was just thinking, like, it would be so cool to have saber fighters in black light with like different black light material and stuff like that on their bodies having a fight. That would be fun.
That would be cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for Rob Chan for coming on our show and sharing us your experience and all your wonderful wisdom with saber fighting. So, Ark, how are you? I didn't even get to talk to you beforehand like normal. It was so weird. I didn't know he was alone, and they're both Star Wars related.
Oh my gosh, I was so stupid.
Quick update. Ghost Hasbro's making Ghost into like a toy that you can play with, and Hera comes with it. She's driving it and stuff.
Right.
Piloting it. And then the other one was an ultimate gift giving guide. That's Ahsoka. So again, if you guys want to check those out, links in the description below.
And remember, we have Ahsoka Saber. We have them available right now at the Kyber Cave. If you need any sabers, make sure to check out kybercave.com. Please like, subscribe, hit your notification bell so you know when we come on. We have shows that come on every day, but every Sunday we do this show. And we're only like, we are not, I know we're less than 100 away from our, I think we're at one.
We're at 14, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, so we're like 80 some odd people away from our next Saber giveaway, and it will be a NeoPixel, my friends.
Yes, so make sure you share and get people to subscribe, and they can also have a chance to win. Now, whether you are just waking up for Nerd Out on Saturdays, or you're staying up late to watch Saber Rattle with us, or you get stuck in your Retro Alcove for hours, or just tired from all the Saber fights you do, our sponsor is just for you. Dummy has no calories, no sugar, no fillers, or artificial flavors. And each serving has 150 milligrams of caffeine, which is equal to 2 cups of coffee. And because it contains Neurofactor, it delivers energy and focus with none of the jitters. So to get your 10% off, go to w.gg and use code KCP2023, which you can see in the banner scrolling below.
Woo! 10% off for everybody. You get 10% off, and you get 10% off. Everybody gets
10% off. You can also check out Nomad Trek store and get 10% off there with my code MetzoJD10 and find yourself some fun ears here. Frey Girl got herself some ears, the ones that come with the microphone, which was really cool. Wow, what an amazing pitch. Graveyard, I appreciate you for writing it. So thank you. And yes, we have an Ahsoka game going on the Discord right now. So if you'd like to join our Discord, there is our link tree in the description below has a link for it. Just take note that it's 18 plus. Hello, Alex. How are you? Thank you for checking in. I really appreciate that.
I'm going to have you teach me how to do the Discord when we get together for the Instagram thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you'll ever understand Discord. All right. Next, we have on our show Kevin Hogan, who is our convention reporter, goes every week to conventions and gives us a report on how everything went and future ones to come. So take a look at Kevin Hogan's Comic-Con Adventures.
Hello, this is Kevin Hogan from Northern California with an episode of California Comic-Con Adventures. On the weekend of August the 26th, our friends over at Ohana Comic-Con had another one of their fun events by visiting Visalia, California. And they actually also visited on August the 27th, Concord, California. They had 2 Comic-Cons the same weekend there. Ohana Comic-Con, as you know, travels up and down the state of California, hosting a different event in a different city every single weekend there. Sometimes 2 events the same weekend like this time there. Ohana Comic-Con events are very economical, so they're great to visit when they come to a town near you there. Usually they host them in places like Veterans Halls, Moose and Elks Lodges there, where they have free street parking there. You get to meet local artists and vendors. You get to see their fun souvenirs there. And definitely want to stick around to the afternoon. Around 2:30 is usually when they have their cosplay contest there, where you get to see local friends there show off their fun cosplay contest they built themselves there and win some fun prizes there. So definitely recommend checking out Ohana Comic-Con when it comes to a town near you. Also on that same weekend of Sunday, August the 27th, 2023, was KinYubiCon 2023 over in Union City. KinYubiCon is a fun little Comic-Con that usually has free street parking nearby there. They have free video games set up to play there, so you can battle your friends playing Smash Brothers and other fun classic video games there. They have lots of vendors set up there, so you can walk around and see some fun souvenirs there. And they have some panels, so you can learn to make cosplays there. Sometimes they have dance lessons and other interesting little panels to talk about there. And they do have a cosplay contest in the afternoon there, so if you get a chance to visit KinYubiCon in Union City, definitely recommend checking that out. And for those of you looking forward to upcoming events, definitely want to check out our friends over at Ohana Comic-Con on Labor Day weekend of September the 4th, 2023. They're going to be visiting Central California, city of Turlock. Again, that's Ohana Comic-Con on September the 4th. It's going to be visiting Turlock. Also, Ohana Comic-Con is going to be having another event September the 7th to the 10th at the Auburn Fairgrounds. So that's the fair going on there. If you buy admission to the fair, you get also admission included there to the Ohana Comic-Con there for no additional cost there. And also, there's going to be a weekend blender on the weekend of September the 16th to the 17th. That's down in Clovis. That's a free Comic-Con that's held in the mall there, weekend of September the 16th to the 17th in Clovis. And for those of you Pokemon fans, on Saturday, September the 16th, is Pokemon Fun Fest. That's in Fremont Park there in downtown Sacramento. Again, that's September the 16th, the Pokemon Fun Fest in Sacramento. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the picks, and we'll see you out there at the next Comic-Con.
Thank you, Kevin Hogan, for your report. We appreciate it very much. So, Kevin
And I
Hogan
know
is our
he was at
producer.
SAC. He was at SAC Anime this week, and that man is all over the place.
All right. So, guys, we have reached pretty much the end of our show, but I just want to remind you that we have other shows during the week. Every day we have content. Monday, we have Retro Alcove that gets uploaded to the channel. Tuesdays, we have a Hearts of Kyber stream at 5 p.m. Pacific. Wednesday, we have a gaming stream at 10 a.m. in the morning. All these are Pacific time, by the way. Thursday, we have gaming at 8 o'clock, 8:15 p.m.-ish, just depending. And then Friday, I am uploading Visage playthroughs. And Saturday morning is Saturday Morning Nerd Out. So if you want to find out all the description and times and everything of our shows, check out the description below, and you'll see a whole list of our shows. And you'll also see links to Aubrey's music, which I know you guys will enjoy listening to on her Spotify. She also wrote the music that we play on our Patreon at the end. So,
Yeah,
and a happy belated birthday to Force, because that was his birthday.
Happy belated birthday, Force. Woo! A lot of our hosts do work on other channels too. I want to give it up for Graveyard over at We Mostly Pod Out at Night, mostly.
Yes.
He is also on Distance Nerding, as long as Frey Girl, who is on Distance Nerding. She's on Saturday Morning Nerd Out, but she does Distance Nerding as well. And I think she has her own channel starting soon, right?
She does. Yeah, let me grab the link for it right quick.
And then of course Mezzo, she has her own Twitch stream. So if you want to watch her gaming outside of Kyber Cave production, you can do that as well.
Yes. So if you want to check out there's Frey Girl's Twitter and her YouTube. We've got Aubrey's information here below. We've also got Graveyard, they mostly put out on mostly.com, and Distance Nerding link. There's everything.
Yeah, I'm the only one that's just here. This is my little cave. This is my little Kyber Cave.
Follow Kyber Cave Productions and Kyber Cave on Facebook, and you can hear a lot from Dan if you want to.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for this week, and we will see you next week. And don't forget, in 2 weeks, there's our special edition where we have lots of Libras of different lightsaber organizations joining us. All right, guys, have a wonderful week. We will catch you later.
Have a great week. Bye. And make sure to tune in. Peace. Bye.
Yes.